To say, because I have been around the block in Catholic education in this country, I hope you do realize the great gift you have in the school system you are putting together. I know it's not an easy project. I mean, I love to come to places and snoop around. So I got off the plane and I was staying at the Radisson Hotel, but I didn't realize the Radisson by the airport is actually the casino. I saw this big, you know it, I didn't know it. I said, that can't be the Radisson, this big operation here. Well, it is. So I made a right turn, and I saw the sign that says, downtown Green Bay, this way. Have you seen that sign? Mm-hmm. So I said, hey, I'm going to downtown Green Bay. Hang on. It ain't Honolulu, but you know what? It's on the water. So here we go. And I'm going down, and I loved it. It is so wonderful, and so American, and so us. And so Catholic. I'm driving up and I see the steeples. You know what I'm talking about? Driving down, I forget the name of the street. Was it Walnut or what was it? And I go by St. John the Evangelist. And then I make a turn. I go a couple more blocks and I make a right. And I'm going by St. Francis Xavier, the cathedral. And then I'm tooling around back and forth, and I'm thinking there's got to be a Protestant church in Green Bay somewhere. Well, I found the Methodist church, and then I saw another steeple over in the corner. I said, I'm going to find out. That must be the Baptist church. Oh no, I forgot I'm in Green Bay. It's St. Willabookie, what is it? Say it for me. Willowbroad, okay, all right. Tell me, Willowbroad was what crowd? The Dutch? The Dutch got here? Wow. From Grand Rapids, they took a boat across? What ethnic group began St. Willowbroad? The Dutch. The Dutch. Oh, what about St. John the Evangelist? The French. What about St. Francis Xavier? The Germans. Where'd the Irish guys go like me?
St. Patrick's.
Oh, St. Patrick. Where is St. Patrick's?
Over the river.
Oh, and through the woods? Okay, yeah. Over the river, yeah. I have so many stories. Last year I was working with all the teachers in the El Paso, Texas diocese. Okay, get the picture. I go to the airport in El Paso. This is so Catholic and so American, so us. I land at the El Paso airport, and I'm picked up the next morning by the superintendent. We're in El Paso, Texas, and I'm picked up by the superintendent, a very large German nun, Sister Schmidt. She puts me in her car, and we're going off to meet all the teachers in the diocese of El Paso at the cathedral. And of course, when I gather with them all at the cathedral, I look out at all these hundreds of teachers, and they're almost all Hispanic. But of course, because we are Roman Catholics in America, I am there, brought by a German nun, to speak with all these Hispanic teachers in a cathedral called St. Patrick. That's America, is it not? Is America. But you know what? I have been to so many places like Green Bay in this country. I have been to Huntington, Indiana, where you can see the German church from the steps of the Irish church. It's a church that no longer exists. You and I are called to do new things in this new age. There was a day, I'm sure, when St. Francis Xavier and St. Willowbroad, okay, and St. John the Evangelist all had their own schools. I saw the buildings. Just feet from one another. It's a church that no longer exists. And you and I are called to meet the needs of kids who come to us in this historic moment in new ways. It's not easy. But if we do not do this holy work, we will lose the great gift of Catholic education. And I'm here to remind you, because I've been to all these various places in this country, once you lose a Catholic school, you almost never get it back. So I don't know the details of what you're doing and how you're doing it and which schools are going to be where and what groups, but this is the wave of the future. And Catholic education, if it's worth promoting and worth saving, is the way you are going to do it by consolidating resources for a new day and a new paradigm for kids in this historic moment. It is the parishes and the dioceses, the priests, the principals, and the parents across this country who are stuck in the past that are losing these great schools one by one. And they're not coming back. You know, I tell this when I'm at home, when I'm working with schools in Detroit. I'm so old. I'm so old. Do you know when I graduated from a boys' high school in the city of Detroit, from the Jesuit High School in Detroit in 1968? I dazzle my audiences in Detroit when I tell them this. When I graduated from the Jesuit High School in Detroit in 1968, within the city limits of the city of Detroit, there were 48 Catholic high schools. 48 Catholic high schools just within the city limits of Detroit in 1968. There were so many boys' high schools, we had our own league. In the Archdiocese of Detroit, almost every Catholic parish of any size had its own high school and its own grade school. Today, as you and I gathered here, in 2011, within the city limits of the city of Detroit, there is now one Catholic high school left. And by the way, it's the one I graduated from. And by the way, it's the one I became principal of a few years ago. So keeping Catholic schools alive is not a given. It takes vision and work on your part. It takes hard work and lots of collaboration on the part of principals to make this work. But it can work, and it should work, and it will work in a wonderful place called Green Bay. But only if you keep the vision alive.